Views, takes, and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes, and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network, and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle, everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
Thank you very much for listening on the Main Event Mark podcast. Today's set of episodes today it will serve as our backlog episode since WrestleMania. Holy fuck. Ang dami natin backlog, seryoso. We talked a few things on the 2-hour 50 episode of the Main Event, on the recent episode with Christian Anastasio. By the way, happy birthday to Christian, one of our mods, admins, and our disciplinary community member of the community. So happy birthday to you, Chan. I hope you are well. I hope everyone will be safe to you. And when it comes to your personal life, I hope you will win. Okay? So, like what I said on earlier, kagaya sabi ko a few minutes ago, this episode will serve as our backlog episode. So, I'm going to review TNA Rebellion on today's episode, and then the rest, it should be a backlog recap, basically on what's happening in wrestling, or kung ano yung na-miss ko for the past 2 weeks, to be exact, since after WrestleMania, or WrestleMania itself. So, kaya guys, pasensya nyo na, medyo mabibiting kayo on this episode. Pero I am going to make sure that everything will be worth it pa din naman when it comes to how we can conduct the content, how we can provide the content. And yeah, last week wala tayong episode dahil sinave ko siya on that 2-hour episode that we dropped on both PWPH podcast and here on the Main Event. So maraming salamat pa din sa lahat na nakinig on that episode. And yeah, yes, I'm still taking my cup of coffee from last night. Ayan. So, let's start the show now with some big announcements before we just go to our big story this week. Wait lang. I just have to adjust my mic kasi medyo mahina yung pick up ng mic ko. I'm not sure if it mahina yung pick up ng mic ko, pero it should be not the case, no? Yeah. So, I'm trying to record the previous episode, pero ang hina talaga. Let me try to see and to adjust also what should be the big thing going forward. Wait lang, bear with me, ha. May hinahanap ako. Wait lang, hinahanap ko yung press release ni WWE. Wait lang, hinahanap ko yung press release ni WWE. So WWE Australia announced that WWE is coming to Australia. In-announce na to nung WrestleMania, so alam na natin, dapat alam ito. Pero this was made official, so this October WWE is coming to Perth with Crown Jewel, with headline this weekend. So they're going to have a Raw, SmackDown, and Crown Jewel. So this might be the first time, or this will be the first time a Crown Jewel will take place outside of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And typically, alam natin lahat na ang Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has this deal that they should have at least 2 PLEs per year. Pero it's not the case in 2025 because in 2026 we're getting 3 PLEs. We are getting 1. So the slated date that our friends over on the scene is being expecting is the June 28th Night of Champions, and it's still not confirmed as we speak. But for now, let's provide to you an update. So, WWE Takeover Perth, Saturday, October 10th, Friday, October 10th, for SmackDown. Raw is October 13th, and then Crown Jewel Perth is on Saturday, October 11th. So, the information given to us that, when it comes to how this show will be presented, it's still the same that we have. The Crown Jewel title will be still there. Kung naman yung gusto nilang palabasin when it comes to this John Cena tour, yan ang ating abangan in the next couple of weeks, months, and even a period that we are actually expecting. But for now, we're just going to get more updates when it comes to this match, no? And then kung ano pa yung dapat natin i-expect when it comes to Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. Again, this will take place sa RAC Arena. This is part of the deal that they have in this premises of the arena. So that is the case there. So eto. So wala nang titignan ko yung X ni Arena, pero di na nga pala active si X. But let's see in threads if this must be updated. Pero yun, this is the case when it comes to the RAC Arena hosting the show. So active naman sila sa X, sa threads. So I'm not gonna look on threads. Yun. So WWE Australia, just to recap that announcement, so Friday, October 10th for SmackDown, Monday, this October 13 for Raw, and then Crown Jewel Perth for Saturday, October 11th. Tickets should be available anytime soon. Second bit of news that we have here this week. So AEW announced a tour, sorts of a occupancy in the city of Philly sa 2300 Arena. So yan, in-announce nila that they are going to have a residency on 2300 Arena. So it's the first time ever that they're going to occupy this venue, and also going to be the first time that they're going to take advantage of the residency here at the 2300 Arena. Again, 2300 Arena used to be called the ECW Arena, and we still remember that on that way matter. So the dates that was shared to us by our friends over on Fightful and also AEW themselves, they have here the press release. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to look for the press release given to us by AEW. Bear with me. So the dates will go as follows. Sorry about that. So from August 27th, so basically it's the after Forbidden Door. I think wait. Let's check that out. Let's check that out. I think this is after Forbidden Door. Sure. They're going to have a residency for AEW Dynamite, Collision, and the Ring of Honor shows, and de facto na yun. And then we're going to have Death Before Dishonor. So let's check the details on their press release. So AEW Wrestling Today announced that the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia will host an exclusive multi-week residency of AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision, marking the first time in history that AEW events will be held at the historic venue. These events are in addition to previous announced Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor on Friday, September 5th. Again, the dates will go as follows: Wednesday, August 27, Wednesday, September 3rd, Wednesday, this September 10. Sorry, sabi ko December. But yeah, just to repeat, that's Wednesday, August 27th for Dynamite, Wednesday, September 3rd for Dynamite again, Then Wednesday, September 10th for Dynamite. And then Saturday, August 30th, it's AEW Collision. And then on Friday, September 5th, that's Ring of Honor, Death Before Dishonor that we just talked about on the previous episode. Saturday, September 6th, AEW Collision. And Thursday, September 11th, special taping for AEW Collision. More details we should be available on AEW.com or AllEliteWrestling.com. And that's it. I'm not gonna read this press release, but that's the case now. Good to hear that AEW is actually going to take this residency seriously, because we know that if AEW is not gonna take advantage of this situation, then they might be get fucked anytime soon when it comes to these things in AEW. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na it's a bad thing na magkaroon ng residency, but sometimes it works and it will work for sure and for sure. And that's what I can assure when it comes to this residency thing that's happening on AEW. Mamaya, before we cap off the show, I just wanted to share with you a clip of Brian Alvarez causing the whole AEW fandom because of what the fuck Dave Meltzer is saying on his show lately. It's kind of weird, but okay, it is what it is. But yeah, that's the thing that they're trying to build there over on the Guantanamo Bay. Let's continue now, talking about TNA Rebellion. Again, this is the Main Event Mark podcast. My name is Angelo Penera, and if you're listening on the pod for the first time, thank you very much for listening on the show. You can follow and support the show on all of the social media platforms at Main Event Mark PW, and you can also support us on X, Facebook, and the rest of the social media platforms that we have. So that's the Main Event Mark PW. May will also start our road to our 5th anniversary here on the Main Event. Yes, it's the 5th anniversary. 1 year pa lang natin as the Main Event Mark, but it's still 5th anniversary for the whole podcast here on the Main Event. So stay tuned for some content that I'll release during that week. Then let's talk about it more and more soon when it comes to our anniversary stuff that we're going to do on May 21st, 2025. May 21st, 2020 was the first episode of the Main Event. Then the rest is history. Dami natin nagawa, dami nating magagawa pa, at marami pa tayo magiging contribution when it comes to this show. Going back, let's talk about now TNA Rebellion and its fallout. We will talk about that momentarily, since we are talking about TNA Rebellion. I'm not going to do a play-by-play things that I usually do when it comes to these shows, because I love TNA, but since this is a backlog episode, I'm not gonna do that on this episode, just to make sure. So let's start with Fatal Influence beating Saya Brookside, layering Lay, and Rosemary. I think that was really good. Then they're trying to tease Saya Brookside into a heel turn, which is kind of odd to me, because we never seen her as a heel. If she does, let me know. Try to correct me. Pero I'm not sure. Never ko siyang nakita na nag-heel si Saya Brookside. Then, Elijah made an open challenge and defeated TMDK Shane Haste within 6 minutes. So, yeah, that's the case. So, let's start with TNA Rebellion 2025, the main cards to the Ultimate X for the TNA title. Moose versus Elio de Vikingo. Tangin na Vikingo. Sinatawag ko dito versus Leon Slater versus Matt Cardona versus Sidney Akim, formerly known as Reggie, versus Casey Navarro. So, I know this match is going to be chaotic as fuck. The highlight of this match was when Leon Slater jumped from the top of the Ultimate X 16 feet from the ground. People are actually criticizing Leon Slater about it, and Moose as well, because wala daw sumalo kay Slater from the top rope, and parang muntikan na siyang bumagsak sa ground. And yeah, ito, ang thought ko lang dito as a whole match, I find it amazing to see TNA actually taking advantage of their partnership with AAA and default WWE too. And I really love how they are taking advantage of the situation in any way when it comes to these sorts of partnerships between both of the promotions. And it's a win-win to see this type of partnerships, and I hope that it will still continue as it is when it comes to these partnerships. And let's continue. So I really like this Ultimate X match compared to the previous ones recently. Si Akim, that was really good, man. That was really good. Then, as si Leon Slater, despite of the bump, I find him amazing. I hope that we would able to see him more in a title picture, title setting. I hope we can see him more on that setting. So, we have a 4-way tag match between Ash and Heather by Elegance versus Spitfire versus Meta Girls. Since wala nang Meta 4, we will talk about that momentarily later. And Gigi Dolin and Tatum Paxley. So again, I'm not going to do a play-by-play on this. Medyo may lose sa build nitong match na to because of mainly kay Ash, dahil nga siya ay wala sa mga shows due to her going overseas in Australia. But yeah, this match was really good to me. I love the evolution of Ash by Elegance, either as well, same case. Again, I'm not going to say it's a perfect match. I'm going to say also Spitfire. If you guys will agree with me, I hope they can return now as singles without turning each other. Again, I'm not saying they're a bad team, but there's a lot of teams that needs to take advantage of when it comes to this thing, no? But that's the case. I love all of the wrestlers, and missed opportunity then to see the inspiration to return here or WrestleMania. But yeah, it is what it is. Then we have the Rascals in Ace Austin versus the System. Don't forget, we have Sean Waltman X-Pac match. The match is the most least interested match that I have here on the show, but I am trying to get an interest. Nung pinanood ko yung show, yung pay-per-view, hindi talaga siya nagli-link sa akin. Parang lumalabas lang dito, it's your nostalgia DX match. Yan lang yan. I love DX. DX is one of my favorite stable talaga, no? Pero this not hits me like the reunions or blah 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 like that. No, this not hits me. So, match number 4, we have the TNA International title, Steve Maclin versus Eric Young. So, it was announced at Unbreakable during Mania week that whoever wins the title and the one who wasn't pinned will fight on this pay-per-view at Rebellion. At first, that was odd. The first was, that was odd. Pero the match was really good. I love Eric Young as a heel, as always. Especially during his Sanity and Violent by Design days. I am really into the impression that Eric Young still works more as a face, but still that odd as a baby face. But I am trying to grow as well with Steve Macklin as a face, because he is effective as well as a heel. So we're trying to use into that the effective post-match assault between the two of them, with obviously his stablemates over on the Northern Armory. Then it really makes sense to see these two feuding for the next few weeks. It might be end at Slammiversary in July. Haba pa ang July. But I love this feud. I love this match too. So, Mike Santana versus Mustafa Ali. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match. Ito yung feud of the year nila so far. No doubt, pare. Ito yung sa tingin kong panlalaban ko sa mga feuds ng AEW, because we know how dog shit AEW right now. But yeah, this match was really good, very excellent when it comes to the proper usage of proper usage of being physical, at saka yung parang yung pagiging niya, chaotic, is very on point when it comes to these things. Same with the Sami Callihan versus Dong Unbreakable, Steve Warner. The match was really good too. Alam mo, TNA talaga, minsan may mga bagay na mag-hit sila sa'yo, may mga bagay din na mag-miss. But if they have great matches na nag-hit talaga, that was really good. And TNA is really hitting the charts when it comes to this type of matches. And yeah, I cannot blame people who is not into this boat, but we really need to see more fans to watch TNA. Not because of the WWE partnership, of course. Okay, so big announcement revealed here that Indy Hartwell is signing with TNA. Great signing, sa totoo lang. And inisip ko nga, nung nag-usap kami ni Chan prior to the recording, that TNA taking advantage of Indy Hartwell can also lead to her returning to WWE. So parang wala namang naburong bridges doon, no? Basically. So it's just an extension of her run sa WWE, no? And I mean, okay, she's part of the TNA roster, but she can still do the crossovers, and we might see more of Indy Hartwell soon. And based on her promo sa TNA Impact Live, we should see more of Indy Hartwell down the line, and I really love it. So, ito medyo interesting to. Masha Slamovich versus Tessa Blanchard. So, I have my doubts into this match, that I am expecting that there should be a title change, because on how they're trying to push Tessa Blanchard in the moon when it comes to her presentation, especially presentation kay Masha. We know that it was meant to be the time for Masha to lose the belt. But no, that was a twist that I never expected. So, sobrang strong kasi ng booking ni Tessa. Medyo, ang ganda na ng umpisa ng match na to. I'm going to say that. Ang ganda na ng umpisa ng match na to. And then, the match kind of slowed down. Then, the middle, yung padulo, na random ng mga chants, I'm kind of annoyed on that. But the match was really good, regardless. I think that was the result that I never expected as a fan of the match. No? Sobrang strong kasi ng booking kay Tessa Blanchard. Sa totoo lang. No? Then, yung pag-take advantage din kay Tessa might happen in Slammiversary sa July. And it still works. Ang crowd medyo may sentiments ako when it comes to the crowd. Ang labo eh. Ang labo ng crowd na to. At this point, the hate of... I'm not going to say that I should normalize Tessa Blanchard. No, go fuck yourself. But, no matter what she's doing right now, I think you can still hook me as a fan. But, I'm not going to guarantee that I will be still the same fan that I used to be nung matino pa siya dyan. No? For sure. But still, I still always loved the match that we wanted here on TNA sa Rebellion. Ito, TNA World Tag Team Titles, the Hardys versus the Nemets. I think that I really enjoyed the turn of Nemets so far. Fuck Ryan Nemeth. Ito. Speaking of fuck Ryan Nemeth, he took the fall from Jeff. And that was really... that was flat. Ryan Nemeth is such a fucking idiot. Ano ba? Si Nick Nemeth kasi, wala na akong issue kay Nick Nemeth. Nick Nemeth, I think he's such a really good wrestler. Amazing on his own right. Hardys, I don't want to see them again with the titles. Any titles, I don't. Sorry. I have to tell you guys this. I don't want to see Hardy Boys championships again. With the championships again. I don't want to see them. Not a fan. I would rather see some mid-card tag team in TNA taking the titles from the Hardys or the Nemets. At least that should take the credibility of the belts without holding it by themselves. Then, parang nalayo na rin talaga si Nick Nemeth sa singles title. At least, for now, no? Ito yung hindi ko maseryoso, no? I love how this match was built. I love the rise of Nick Nemeth as a heel compared to his run last year. But Ryan Nemeth is such a fucking ass that he was booked as a fucking loser on TNA television, and then now you're trying to tell me that I should take him seriously? Like, fuck you, man. Oh, good lord. I hate the booking of Ryan Nemeth. It's illogical, man. Sobrang astronomical na to eh. I'm not saying I hate or I knock the character, but I hate the booking here. Walang logic. Walang logic na makakasagot kung bakit ganito yung booking kay Ryan Nemeth. Ryan Nemeth is getting more shit rather than his brother. And I think I am into the impression that it might continue. Knowing they're trying to build Ryan Nemeth because of the hatred that he got recently due to this bullshit on Tony Khan. But that was really bad. They are building credibility on Ryan Nemeth so bad, and I don't like it, man. Sorry, I have to say that. Main event. Main event. So we don't have to wait 35-minute main events. 15 minutes. 15 minutes of the main event is fine sometimes. Okay. So, this is the main event. Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian versus Ethan Page. So, hindi ako nag-expect masyado ng mahabang main event, knowing what we happened or what we got on the previous matches. But, ewan ko, parang justified sa level ni Joe Hendry yung duration na yon. At least to me, he is not Will Ospreay for sure, but I think it's justified to see this match in a shorter period. Hindi naman palagi Pasko sa totoo lang. Like what I said, the match in the main event was really good. It was fun. I'm not expecting Kazarian to win his belt because of the cash in the process. So that's a first in a while that someone actually lost the cash in for the Collier shot, no? Then they were able to take advantage of the whole thing when it comes to this 14 minutes, no? But yeah, the finish was really exciting. Hindi naman tayo nag-expect ng talo, but it was really good, no? Then dagdag pa natin that Trick Williams appeared on NXT prior to this show, and then he assaulted him with a trick shot, and then pinawian niya ulit yung trick shot on his face, and then he held up the TNA title, and then he tossed it on Joe Hendry. Then mag-agree naman tayo that the TNA NXT partnership, crossover, whatever, is actually on its top right now, and we are getting the full blast one at a time, and I think that was a really good sign. We'll talk about the fallout of TNA Impact so far, and then we will talk about more of that later on. So I think this match was really good so far. This match, this show, really impressive. The three main events that they advertised as a main event was not that main event, except for the Tessa Blanchard versus Tessa Blanchard versus oh, I forgot her name. Tessa Blanchard versus Mas Namovich. Sorry. But yeah, that was Rebellion. Let's go to the fallout real quick before we move out of the TNA. So, May 1 episode of TNA Impact. So, it was live from Irvine, California. So, they should tape a show as we are speaking right now. Nag-air sila ng tapings ngayon, no? But, I watched this PLE. So, let's start with the highlights of the show. So, Joe Hendry came to the ring and he called out Trick Williams. So basically, lumabas siya by satellite, and then he is not in the building because he wanted to focus on the Battle Royale that was announced on NXT. It was announced kasi that NXT, TNA, NIL, Evolve, or TNA, AAA, pwede sila sumali sa Battle Royale. So, most likely there's someone from TNA that we are familiar with are joining this Battle Royale for sure. And yeah, we're excited for that, but it's definitely Trick Williams gonna win on this one. No, he is winning. Then we have again Sami Callihan and Mance Warner. They shook hands after that match. Sa Unbreakable, that was really good. And then on the part of Sami, very astronomical, but it's really good. Then we have a match for Mike Santana, and then he called out Joe Hendry for the TNA title. This is what I am predicting a few weeks ago, that Mike Santana should win the TNA title, and that should be a great match in his hometown for Joe Hendry. Then Steve Macklin came to the ring and was attacked by the Northern Armory. So the stable attacked him. And then Eric Young attacked him with a chain. Second show in a row. Then we have Moose beating Zachary Wentz because of the no jackhammer needed. Then John Skyler appeared on the show. And then Mustafa Ali was unrattled after rebellion, and then he will rebuild himself. So here's the kicker of this show. So we have Cody Deaner coming to the ring. Then he announced that he is informing everyone that his contract is expiring tonight. But Santino Marella appeared and announced that Deaner will have an extension for his contract. So the match is set for Under Siege next few days from now. It should be Eddie Edwards versus Cody Deaner. The winner, or if Deaner wins, he will get an extension. Then we have Robert Stone and Victoria Crawford appearing on the TNA. It's not the first time for Robert Stone, just to let you know, and then not the first time definitely for Victoria. Then they interrupted Santino and Cody and informed that they are now deputy directors of authority in TNA, and Crawford is getting a title shot against Masha Slamovich for Under Siege. Alam nyo, ewan ko I really love Alicia Fox on her day in WWE. I hope we can see more of Crawford here for this show and her runs at TNA, and definitely WWE too. So Indy Hartwell made a segment, and then she promised that she will shake up the TNA Knockouts division. Then Masha Slamovich made a promo that where she would prove to Victoria Crawford that she is not on her level. Main event, Frankie Kazarian and the Nemets defeated Joe Hendry and the Hardys. Then Frankie Kazarian attacked Rick Williams again, and they took the advantage for the win. So that's it for the show for TNA. So let's talk about now let's talk about what happened on the previous shows. Now we missed that we missed. Sabi ko nga, this is going to be a backlog episode, so bear with me. Let's start from the recent episode of AEW Dynamite. Kasi pababa ito. Wait lang. Mahirap magkwento ng pababa. So let's start with Spring Breakthrough. This match was the match between Athena and Mercedes Moné. The match was really good. I find it really good. Pero like what I said, I am not really expecting too much about this show. Tong anong to. Oh my God. We have some breaking news. Anytime from now. Sorry, I have to share with you. Oh my God, here's a breaking news. Here's a breaking news, guys. WWE releases are ongoing as we speak, as reported by Fightful. Thank you, Fightful, by the way, for notifying us for this information. So we have some releases, and then we go as follows. So while the names mentioned earlier weren't released, Fightful Select has learned of another number of releases. So internal memos went out indicating Kaden Carter, Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, and Katana Chance has been released from their contract. So this will actually break the flow so far of this show. So I'm just going to share this to our community. So just bear with me. Pasensya na guys, it's this very sudden since we saw this development. Again, just to confirm to you guys, the report that we got from Fightful, hindi ba ito ay confirmed? Pero it should be including Kaden Carter, Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, Katana Chance. So that was the list so far that we are receiving from Fightful Select. That was about information given to us by Fightful, and that was really heartbreaking, guys. I know we are supposed to do an AEW breakdown as we are speaking right now, and it's very astronomical na maglihis ng topic just like that. But that was a breaking news that we never expected, aside from the Dakota Kai post that we saw a few days ago. Pero based on what we got, that's the case now, no? And I hope that we can see all of them down the line within the TNA, AEW. Again, we are always saying that hindi naman sa WWE natatapos yung dream mo as a wrestler. Hindi rin matatapos yun with you being a WWE superstar. And what I can assure is, based on the list that was given to us by Fightful, and based on the confirmation that was given to us by Fightful as we speak, yun na yun. Positive na yung nakuha nating information. We are just trying to get more information about the releases. Ayun. So, just to confirm to you, in case you missed the news, the releases will go as follows. So, Caden Carter, Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, Katana Chance. Again, this is an internal memo that's being shared by Fightful. So, ayun. Okay, so I'm just going to memo everyone. Wait lang. Magme-memo lang ako. Ayan, so nagme-memo lang ako. Kasi putang ina, we are supposed to talk about AEW on this moment. But this type of releases is something I don't want to see every time. Even in AEW, that's holy crap. We are getting this internal information that was given to us by Fightful. And yeah, we're still trying to get more information about this releases that was given to us. That's kind of breaking the rule that was given to us, and the information that was given to all of our viewers, listeners here on the pod. And yeah, I'm really sad for everyone mari-release on their respective contracts. And sobrang sakit na to, guys. For someone who is watching Caden and Katana Chance, Team 2KC, Dakota Kai, I think she is still impressive as a wrestler. Braun Strowman, then we have Braun. Yeah, she is impressive. Si Shayna Baszler in her own right was amazing, and I'm kind of sad that we have to deal with this as part of our breaking development here for WWE. So, that was notified to us by Fightful. Again, let's continue on the information. Let's do a recap before we move on. This is a breaking development as we speak. According to our friends over on Fightful, this is also an internal information given to us that Caden Carter, Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, and Katana Chance, they were released on their respective contracts. So that was the information given to us, and we will talk about it. I'm really sad about this development, and we are sad that this was given to us as a breaking development and as a breaking news that we are also sharing here on the main event here on the podcast. I'm really sad for all of these wrestlers because we wanted to see them grow, especially when it comes to this TKO things, partnerships. Um, Ayun, so I'm just going to notify everyone that we are actually talking about this um, on this show. Ayun. So, yun nga, I notified everyone that we are currently notifying um, this information given to us. This is still a heartbreaking development. We will still provide you more updates over on our social media platforms. Main event mark sa PWPH. We will notify you also if there will be any information given about this news that we have regarding on the releases that we just saw a few minutes ago. We are supposed to talk about AEW as we speak, but this releases kind of shaked up this development that we have here on the WWE. I know very normal yung mga releases that we are getting, pero sobrang sakit na makita natin itong mga wrestler na to na wala ng trabaho, 90 days mag-aantay para makasign sa bagong company, and then all of the sudden these releases are happening in real time while we are conducting our recording here on the podcast. Again, we will provide you more updates as soon as we have it here on the main event. Ayun. So, yun lang muna ang gusto ko iparating sa inyo. Yun nga, as promised, I will still provide more information as soon as we have it. Okay? So, yun lang naman muna. Yun lang muna yung maibibigay natin. Again, in behalf of us here on PWPH Wrestling Network, the main event mark, we are wishing everyone who got released today and who will be released today, I hope na wala nang madagdag sa listahan na yon, that we wish nothing but good luck on their future endeavors. And ayun na, yun, sobrang sakit sa akin lalo na yung release ni Dakota Kai. So ayun lang muna yung ating balita when it comes to this breaking news that we just got a few minutes ago, reported by Fightful, notified to us just a few minutes ago, confirmed by Fightful, and we will get more updates, and as soon as we have it, we will share that to you momentarily here on the main event mark and all of the social media platforms of the main event. So, I'm really sad we are talking about this. Originally supposed to be in a setting that we are trying to expect, no? Tapos yun nga, again, we are wishing I wish them nothing but the best in their future endeavors. Yun na lang talaga yung kaya ko masabi as we speak, as we are providing this information that we are getting when it comes to this recent releases that we are getting. Yan. So, yun lang muna. Balik na tayo sa ating programming review that we are supposed to expect. So, sorry guys, that was a little bit sudden. Medyo somber din ako kasi Dakota Kai is one of my favorite last years in wrestling. And then ito na naman tayo, we are getting these releases again at putyang ina. Yan, let's continue with the programming that we have. So we're talking about AEW Spring Breakthrough. Before we got informed and notified by Fightful about these releases. Again, let's do the round off na lang. Mercedes Moné competed for the first time on their match, the spot of her finals for the Owen Hart tournament. So it's set na, Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter for Double or Nothing in the desert. Then Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page after they defeated Konosuke Takeshita and Josh Alexander respectively. Then yon, I'm not gonna do a cap off on this whole card. The trios match that we got on the main event of this show was really good in its own right, and it's time to fucking end the reign of the Death Riders slowly but surely. Let's continue on the episode on my birthday. AEW Dynamite, April 23rd, 2025. This is again provided to us by our source. Not too much of a show, for sure. Ito, so like what we said a few minutes ago, we have Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter defeated Stat for the women's title. So she will face Mercedes Moné for the AEW Owen Hart finals at Double or Nothing. And then we have Young Cox, that no one cares. Then Will Ospreay and Brody King competed over Konosuke Takeshita and Josh Alexander. Then this show is basically okay. So ito lang, highlight lang nitong show na to. These three shows, I really love that the partnership between MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. It's growing slowly but surely. But the segments that we are getting, it's kind of flatter and flatter. I'm not sure if it's a good sign or terribly a bad sign that we are expecting down the line. So, AEW Dynamite this week, April 30. Let's talk about this. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. April 30, 2025. Ito na nga. Ewan ko, guys. Ewan ko. Pero, Tony, I hope this will be the last time that you will book a fucking all-star match. I hope this will be the last time that we will book an all-star match. I know this thing might be something that needs to be said or whatever, kung ano man yung gusto nyo iparating. But I hope this will be the last time we will see this fucking all-star matches. And I hate it. I hate it, pare. I hate it. Kasi medyo napapaputang ina ako on this thing. And it's kind of contracepting that it's kind of contracepting that parang ano ba to? What the fuck are we doing? Kasi masyadong condescending din yung impression natin when it comes to this news, no? Pero ito, let's talk about Dynamite. Napapalayo tayo. So, kagaya nga ng sabi ko, Hangman Page and Kyle Fletcher fought for the semifinals. So, The winner will fight Will Ospreay. Then Timeless Tony Storm versus Miyu Yamashita after her match versus Natalia. That was really good. Ano ba? Again, just to tell you guys, I'm going to tell you guys straight up. They're trying to book these shows really hard for you to guys to jerk. But I don't think these all-star matches are necessary, man. I don't think this is necessary, pare. But the Tony Storm Yamashita match, I really think that was really good. And then the MJF thing, still flat as we speak. But that was a segment that I think it's growing to me. But okay. That was the mapaputangin ako. I think that's it. Match of the week ko so far is the Tony Storm Yamashita match. That was really good. Solid yun. Okay. So let's cap off this backlog episode / a breaking development episode that we just got thanks to our friends over on Fightful. We are still waiting for the notifications that might shared with us by Fightful. So, ito lang nga, cap off na lang natin yung ibang episodes. So, WWE Raw this week. So, we definitely got an answer on why they have to make this partnership between Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. So, the answer was given, and then medyo umikot yung episode all throughout this thing. So, they're trying to recruit Sami Zayn on this table. However, Seth is telling him the collection of supporters he is insulating himself with is no different than what Roman Reigns did with the Bloodline. And he suggested that the Roman or they are jealous of CM Punk, and then they are denouncing the claims of Seth, no? Yeah. Then that was a solid segment, I can assure you that. Then Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. The match was really good, pare. This match was really good, pero no contest siya as expected because they want to protect the partnership between Roxanne Perez and Julia, and also we want to protect Rhea Ripley as well. We know that's the case from there. And then Jey Uso versus Logan Paul might be made official anytime soon. Then eto, sa totoo lang, I'm going to say this, I don't care if you guys might annoyed on me, but Logan Paul is the perfect first opponent for Jey Uso, no? Because tsaka sa totoo lang, ito yung match na sa tingin ko na kaya niyang tumalo or kaya niyang makatalo without losing a fucking heat. Sobrang effective ni Logan Paul as a heel na parang mababad trip ka, and it will result as a very good presentation, and it will allow Jay to climb a momentum and to also prove to us that they deserve to win the championship. Then yun nga, gaya nga nasabi ko, medyo umikot yung segment sa Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn that they're trying to pitch with. Then we have Becky Lynch explaining her actions over Lyra Valkyria. She mentioned that she attacked Bayley, leaving her unable to compete at WrestleMania. She blamed the role model for attacking her for years since 2019, and she claimed she's trying to convince Lyra Valkyria to drop her, but she is not listening. Then they're trying to convince us with this, and Lyra appeared, made an open challenge to Becky Lynch, and that was made official, and she held her accountable for previous actions. Eto, let me tell you this, I am not agreeing with some of the sentiments that we are getting here on the internet about Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Ako, bago ako magbigay nito, I love Becky Lynch as a wrestler. But when it comes to her popularity and when it comes to my rankings on those four, sino ba talaga yung top 4 horsewomen ko, I'm going to always tell you guys it should be Charlotte, Mercedes, Becky, Bayley. But it doesn't mean that I am invalidating all of them. I just love that Charlotte and Mercedes can actually wrestle better than both of the two of them. Lara Valkyria, on the other hand, she really shined on that segment and she got that baby face moment that we are getting. And Becky Lynch as her opponent really works because she can be a dog shit if she wanted to, and it works, diba? And it should be an extraordinary match that we should expect down the line. Then pero yun, Lara Valkyria is really good. I hope we can see more of her. And the promo that Lyra given to Becky, man, I love the promo of Lyra, man. Yeah, it was really good. Stephanie Baker versus Ivy Nile. That was really great, no? Medyo bitin lang ako kasi medyo umikot lang to kay Chad Gable. Chad Gable, lumabas siya dito. Then we have Rusev explaining his action or motivation kung ba't siya nag-return sa WWE. He explained himself and he wanted to appear on the Abyss. Pero ito gusto ko sabihin about Stephanie Baker, by the way. Man, Stephanie Baker is definitely a fucking star. In a few years, or at least a year from now, itong reaction na to from this crowd, man, it justifies her hype. And that was really good, no? And I think it will always be justified to see something rising from the occasion like Julia, Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Baker, and sobrang ganda nung takbo kay Stephanie Baker so far. And I think she's getting the best among the three so far, right? So far. Eto, isa pang gusto kong sabihin, si Ivy Nile. I think, in my honest opinion, she is getting the best run right now under American Made. And that was an understatement to tell to all of you guys. That was really good. Impressive. And then, ano ba? Yan. Stephanie Baker is now a star indeed. And lahat ng pinapakita niya nagtra-translate. Dahil ito, so kagaya na sinabi ko sa experience and also here on the main event, Pat McAfee appeared to the ring. He explained his actions and also Pat McAfee's actions. And then, sobrang impassioned siya dun sa promo. And then, he said that everything about life, loyalty, and desire to fight Gunther. And then the match was made for Backlash, and that's like that. Pat McAfee just buried him in advance 6 feet deep. Man, this is going to be something for sure, man. Love him or hate Pat McAfee, I think he is trying to make everything interesting. Everything, even though I throw shit on Pat McAfee, but I will always justify what I am trying to say when it comes to Pat McAfee, and it also backfires back to me because we know it works. So Sami Zayn said no to the new stable of the town, Braun, Paul Heyman, and Seth Rollins, and then they assaulted Sami Zayn. It really makes sense. And I really love the idea that they're building the show really well, and the future shows really well, for sure. Then, we have the matches that was made official. Pero yan, it is what it is. That was a really good Raw, by the way. In just a few minutes, I'm going to watch SmackDown. So let me finish reviewing NXT. So NXT, on this week's NXT, yeah, that was a really good development when it comes to this show. Io Sky competed in an amazing match between Io Sky and Jordan Grace versus Julia and Roxanne Perez. That was really good, pare. Tangina, I really love this match. 4 of them are shined when it comes to this segment. Hank and Tank versus Inamura and Josh Briggs. This match was fine to me too. And also, yung match na to, si Inamura talaga yung nagdala, man. It looks really good. And also, parang kaya niya na yung WWE setting, no? For sure. So, parang conclusion na to, for sure, no? It was really good. Then, yung announcement niya ni Ava that we're going to have a 25-man battle royale, as mentioned a few minutes ago, with the winner will fight for the NXT title at Battleground. So, that's kind of setting up the win for Trick Williams, or Joe Hendry might screw Trick Williams for this, no? And then the rest of the card, I don't think it will make me pop somehow. Yun, so hindi ko na siya gano'ng itatakel. Pero Roxanne Perez and Julia versus Io Sky and Jordan Grace, I think this was the match that we should love going forward. I really love it. Totoo lang. Yun. Eto, last thing. SmackDown after Mania. So, Cena and Orton facing off each other, it's really makes sense to me. And then, ang ganda rin nung pagpapakilala nila lalo kay Mark Nash. Oo. So, I really love the presentation. And, parang iba rin yung presentation at papakilala sa kanya. So, that's a little bit details to me when it comes to the introductions. Then, Fraxium versus Los Garzas. That was really good also in their own right. We know that everything that Fraxium touches, I swear it will shine on your ass. I can assure you that. No? Then we have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. That was amazing, man. Again, they're putting both of them safe. So, that was really good. That was really good to me. And Tiffany, good thing about it is she did a really good job on playing as a babyface here for sure, without suddenly sucking up to the crowd out of nowhere. Parang siya lang yun, same. No, same lang yun. Walang nagbago sa kanya. No? Then, the match was really good overall. Then we have the tease again between the Bloodline and Jacob Fatu. Then now Chelsea Green lost her title to Selena Vega, and that was really good though. Nakita natin earlier yung footage of Selena Vega going to the 9/11 monument sorts of. That was really good, no? Then ayun, that was really good and that was amazing in its own right. Pero ito, Aleister Black, he made this return, and I think that was a justified return. And a few minutes by now, few minutes from now, dito, we might see Aleister Black and The Miz. So magpe-preview na rin tayo ng WWE programming today. Then third hour, LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. The match ended no contest, and then let's talk about the TLC match. The TLC match is definitely holy crap. The match was really good, no? I really love this whole match. You need to watch it again and again and again and again. If you have Blast TV, if you have Netflix, watch it over and over and over and over again. Suck your own dick. You need to watch it. That was really good. Then, a few things more to address. WWE Evolve announced by Ava that she will make Ava and Steve ano ba pangalan ng GM ng mga pangalan ng GM nitong ano? Okay. Steve Turner. She will make an announcement next Wednesday. She is now calling herself Evolve Prime Minister. Yeah, kinda UK-ish thing. So she is from UK, so it's kinda makes sense to see and to call herself Prime Minister. That's detail din, no? And I love it. I love how they're trying to put a detail on Stevie Turner. She is the general manager and prime minister of WWE Evolve. That was fine to me. Okay, and then ano pa ba? So, yun lang basically yung ating episode this week. Again, sa releases as we mentioned, we will still tell you more details about the updates when it comes to the ano ba tawag dito? Ayun nga, marami pa tayong pag-uusapan when it comes to the WWE releases. If we can get more information about it when it comes to this information that will be given to us shortly, and still if WWE and Fightful can give us more information about the recent releases, then yan masabi ko. So Shayna Baszler made her post right now. So no one can offer what I have to offer. In reality, like the galaxy burns. So that's her tweet from the recent events today, as we are confirming her release from her contract. So Cora Jade, thankful for all of the childhood games I got to live out. So I have a lot to say in due time. Stay tuned. So. Wait. Is this serious? Cora Jade? What? Wait, what? Seryoso? What the fuck? Is Cora released too? What? What in the fuck? Wait, let's check Shan Rossap. Oh my god. Oh boy. What? Oh boy. Even Eddie Thorpe is also giving us information that putang ina, man. Cora Jade and Eddie Thorpe both also posting details indicating their releases, no? Ayun. So Cora Jade also, holy crap. Tangay na. Sunod-sunod na to. And yeah, mukhang di tayo matatapos dito. Pero yun, ito. May inabangan pa tayong mga news. So we will ito, sinasabi ni Fightful so far that we may hear that some of their contracts weren't renewed, and then yun nga, mukhang kino-confirm na ni Sean Ross Sapp si Cora Jade. So we're just going to give you an update on that. Again, just in case you missed it, both Cora Jade and Eddie Thorpe are indicating that they might also release him from or them from their contract. So, like what I said, we will still get into this. I hope you can still follow these details and all of the news that will be given to us and will be given to you guys. And mukhang nasama din si Riley Osborne. Riley Osborne, as far as we know, is also from WWE, and like, holy crap, this is ayun, so far ito yung news na nakukuha natin as we are recording this episode. So I know mamimiss ko talaga si Cora Jade. Ang grabe yung ginawa nila kay Cora Jade. But yeah, Cora Jade was also released on her contract. So ayun, medyo masakit siya sa atin, no? Sobrang sayang din nung nangyari nga, kagaya na nung ini-indicate natin a few weeks ago that she is getting better and better, and now Roxanne Perez is now getting linked with Julia. Ito medyo masakit siya na reality talaga when it comes to wrestling, and we are now getting this notification and information that Cora is being confirmed that she will also getting released from her contract. Masakit kasi I love Cora Jade, no? Love Cora Jade as a wrestler. Sabi ko nga, walang perfect kay Cora Jade, but ayun. So tangina, I am just sharing the post kasi I am literally saying what when it comes to Cora Jade, Riley Osborne also, and then holy crap, I'm so flat out when it comes to this. But for like what I said, guys, we are going to still give you more updates momentarily here on the Main Event Mark and all of our social media platforms when it comes to these releases that we are currently getting when it comes to this development that we are getting as we speak. So for now, follow the podcast on all of the social media platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch, and the rest of the podcast platforms. And then I hope that you can also support us on social media. Yun nga, Main Event Mark PW, PWPH Select for PWPH, and then ano pa ba? Excuse me. And then ayun, marami pa tayo pag-uusapan. Gaya nga ng sabi ko, there should be a lot of things to talk about pa when it comes to this current run in WWE. Now, for now, wait, what? Wait. Before we let you go, Gigi Dolin, holy smokes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is really getting out of hand, man. This is really getting out of hand for sure. This ang naobserbahan natin so far when it comes to these releases, puro NXT ito, no? Magla-live nga muna ako. I'm going to do a live stream just for the sake of today's festivities and development, no? Yan. Sige, follow the podcast on the social media platforms, Main Event Mark PW. For now, my name is Angelo again from the Main Event Mark. Stay safe and stay reso. See you on the next episode of the pod. Bye for now.